What is up, guys? James here from the Light of Riga YouTube channel, and in this video I'm going to be doing a reading for my friend Anna. Anna reached out to me and she's been having trouble with her relationship. She recently got into a argument with her boyfriend and she wants to know about the energies of the relationship, where it's headed, if she's making the right moves, what she needs to do to improve the relationship. Basically, we're going to take a look at this relationship and see what she needs to do in order to make forward progress in this relationship. So this is going to be a fun 8-card spread that hopefully is going to be a little bit illuminating for her. And it's going to show her which way to progress in this relationship. And I put this video out on my channel for you guys to see so that maybe you can learn something from this. And hopefully it helps everybody. We'll see. I don't know. I can't say for certain either way. Before we get started, I want to introduce you to some of my crystal friends, my allies. I got this rhodonite sphere. This is a beautiful crystal that not only helps you embody the vibrations of love, but also allows you to feel more connected with people and understand what you need to do for the greater good. It's a crystal of giving. I've also got rose quartz sphere here, and we all know about the properties of rose quartz. This is another crystal of love, and I thought it would be perfect to have in this reading is in conjunction with my sodalite sphere, which I have with me for every reading. I love this guy. Doesn't go anywhere. Stays on this tarot table. Okay, I'm going to be using the Morgan Greer. This is a old school. We're going OG with this deck, and this is from the 70s, and it's a classic deck that's people love. So give me a moment to ask the tarot the question. How can Anna make forward progress in her relationship? With Tom is his name. So give me a moment to center myself, ask the tarot cards that question, and I'll be right with you. Alright, that ought to do it. Let's cut the deck. We will deal out the cards. Alright, these cards take up more space than I had anticipated, okay? So hopefully I got most of it on there. Before we take a look at these cards, I'm also going to ask the Nature's Whispers Oracle what message it has for Anna concerning this relationship. And we will save this card for the end. Alright, let's dive into it. I know I got a little bit of a mess here, but I'm doing my best. This card represents where you are now, where Anna is now. And we've got the moon. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, I'm getting the feeling that at the current moment, Anna is kind of not second guessing herself, but she's really asking herself the tough questions. I guess we get to a point into a relationship when we're at the pivot point. Like, do we progress more, or was this just a fun outing? You know what I mean? And I think that she's at the point in her relationship where she has to ask the tough questions. The moon is about delving deep into the shadow aspect of yourself and trying to learn more about yourself. It's a card of solitude. It's a card of I mean, just the fact that the way that she asked me this question, I think shows that she's definitely in a moon phase, and this card is perfectly describing what I'm feeling here. Whereas, she's got kind of asking the tough questions about herself, and she's maybe feeling a little bit alone. The moon is a very solitary card, even though we see a dog and a wolf here. I still get the sense of aloneness from the moon. When the full moon, it's a shadowy time, yet there is still illumination, and that illumination is going to come from the inner self, right? So definitely a card of solitude a little bit, but also a card of breakthroughs, because in order to make forward progress, in order to make breakthroughs, you do have to ask yourself those tough questions. And the fact that she's asking those tough questions shows that she's willing to make forward progress, whichever way direction it takes her. At least she's willing to ask herself where she wants to go forward, and she's not just floating along willy-nilly on the whims of the winds. Okay, I just came up with that expression. I like it. Willy-nilly on the whims of the winds. I like it. Okay, so that's where she's at now, Anna, in the relationship. This card here is going to represent emotions that are sabotaging her progress. Can we see that? All right, and we've got the Star. Okay, I'm getting the feeling that she might be a little bit open. I'm getting the feeling that her emotions surrounding this relationship are just coming out. They're just like nonstop flowing, and that could be a great thing, but also that can be too much sometimes, and it could be overwhelming. And I get the feeling that she's very open with herself, and she's allowing these emotions to occur. A lot of times we'll restrict our own emotions, we'll kind of shove them deep down so that we don't have to deal with them. But I get the feeling that she's going, and that's not good. That's a bad thing. So it's good to be open with ourselves and to allow emotions to rush through. But I'm getting the sense that she's going a little bit too far with the emotions and allowing them to affect her. And when you allow those emotions to affect you without dealing with them in a mature and balanced way, then they kind of get out of control. And I get the feeling that she's a little bit overexposed as far as emotions go, and it's kind of sabotaging her because when we are consumed with our emotions, when we let them overtake us, it clouds our judgment, and we're not really sure where we stand, because we're acting emotionally rather than logically or from our intuition. So you got to make a balanced. You got to have a balanced. Between those things, you gotta strike a balance in order to progress on the right path, the path that's going to get you to the place where you want to go, because you need well-balanced decisions. So yes, I'm getting the sense here that emotions are a little bit going crazy. So this next card represents how to change emotions to make forward progress. So we've got the Eight of Swords. Interesting. Okay. Just give me 1 second. I want to get this card right. I'm going to go into this card. All right. So this card is saying that she has to release herself from this self-imposed prison. She's kind of boxed herself in, I'm getting the feeling, allowing those emotions to take over, to take control, and she's feeling kind of like she's a slave to them. She's enslaved by her own emotions. She wants to be true and genuine to her emotions, but at the same time she wants to do the logical right thing to do. And I get the feeling that there's some sort of schism, there's a divide there where she's not sure what to do. So in order to make forward progress emotionally, in order to understand her emotions better, I think Anna needs to break out of the box. And what I mean by that is to not allow the emotions to dictate how she's going to think, mostly how she's going to use her logic. Of course, like I said, you don't want to make decisions just based on emotion. You don't want to make decisions just based on logic. But I think she's going to have to realize that her emotions are kind of constricting her at this time. They're not allowing her to make a irrational decision right now. And I get the sense that over emotions are just kind of restricting her. So in order to break free from that, She's going to have to allow those emotions to die down a bit and release the shackles of those emotions so that they're not dictating the situation, okay? She needs to be using those emotions to make a good decision, not making a decision based on those emotions, if you can understand the difference, right? All right, this card here represents thoughts that are sabotaging her progress. We've got the Eight of Wands. Okay, I'm getting the feeling of racing thoughts, and I think that, Eight of Wands is about movement. It's quick movement, it's forward, fast movement, and I'm getting the feeling that her thoughts are racing, but more so, I'm getting more of a stronger feeling that she kind of is pushing for things to go very quickly. I think her thoughts are on, like, rapid motion. Rather than allowing the relationship to blossom naturally, I get the sense that maybe she's thinking that she can, speed track this thing and get it to where she wants it to be, rather than allowing it to come to her. I'm getting the feeling that her thoughts are on of forward, push, let's go. And that's okay, but if the other person's not on board with that, then I think you're going to have arguments like I don't know the nature of the argument they had, but you might get arguments such as the one that they had recently. So in order to, we'll see what the next card says, but I think that's the message here is that she's just trying to go a little bit too fast, and her thoughts are on the future. Perhaps her thoughts are on what to do next, when maybe her thoughts should be on what is happening now and how to fix this situation now, rather than where this relationship is headed, rather than trying to dictate where it's going to go. She should probably step back and see what this relationship wants, where it wants to go. This card here represents how to change thoughts to make forward progress. We've got the Two of Pentacles. Aha, perfect. I give good advice. No, this card is saying that you should focus on the day-to-day things, the mundane things. Keep your thoughts on the present. The Two of Pentacles is about thinking about and spending energy towards the smaller things in life, the day-to-day operations. And I think what this card is saying is suggesting that Anna, instead of thinking about the future, instead of thinking about where this relationship is heading, instead of thinking about all the horrible things that could come or all the great things that could come, let's start thinking about the present moment and how you can make today better, how you can make this day the best possible day. And in doing that, you're going to make your future better, because your future is based on what you do today. So if you're making today the best possible day, only then, that is the only way to make a better future. Worrying about the future and stressing about the future, it solves nothing. It makes it worse. It makes things terrible. So focus on the present moment. Focus on the little things that you have to do to improve this relationship, whether it's how you communicate on the cell phone, or whether it's having heart-to-heart talks. I can't give advice as far as how to do this through this spread, but I get the feeling that some little things in the relationship which may seem inconsequential can be tweaked so that it allows better communication and it allows more openness between the two of them. And just an example, maybe spending less time with friends and more time with each other, maybe less time working. I don't really know, okay, but those are just some examples. So however, Anna, however you take that, that's how it should be taken, okay? All right, this card here represents actions sabotaging progress. We've got the Seven of Pentacles. I'm seeing a theme here, my friends. I'm seeing a theme. So I think there's a lot of action put on I hate to call it the future, but a lot of hard work was put into this relationship. I'm getting the feeling, and Anna is looking to harvest the fruits of those labors. I'm getting the feeling that she's ready to probably take this relationship to the next step. I'm getting the feeling that maybe Tom, her boyfriend, is not so ready, possibly, because her actions seem to be surrounding, results. She needs to see results, and it seems like possibly Tom is not ready to show those results, and so they seem to be on a different page. So I get the feeling that her actions are kind of centered around, well, where is this relationship going? What am I supposed to get out of this? I put a lot of work, I put a lot of effort into it, and I'm not sure, I'm really getting what I think I should be getting from it. So that's where her actions lie, I get the feeling. So let's take a look at this next card, which represents how to change your actions to make forward progress. We got the Ten of Pentacles. Oh, excellent. The Ten of Pentacles is about a strong, happy family. And I think that this card is suggesting to Anna that in order to improve this relationship, in order to take this relationship forward, I think you have to be kind of happy with what you have now. Be grateful for what you have now. Yes, it's not exactly what you want it to be, right? You're not perfectly content with the relationship as it is, it seems like. But in order to move this relationship forward, you're gonna need to have a certain amount of gratitude for what you already do have. Yes, you haven't harvested the fruits of all your hard work, but you are on the path. And maybe your partner is not quite on the same path as you. I think maybe you're going a little bit faster than he is the feeling I'm getting. And that's not a bad thing. You know, we all go at our own speed, and it's important not to push other people because you're going to end up pushing them away. At the same time, you do feel like you deserve a certain level of maybe commitment or time or you know, resources given to you in exchange for all your hard work that you've put into this relationship. But you know, there's a fine balance there. You can't always get what you want, and if you're doing what you're doing based on love, then there shouldn't be any thought of reciprocation. There shouldn't be if it's pure true love, right? So I get the feeling that, you know, these people are on the same page, just they're on a different timeline. I think I get the feeling, I could be wrong, but I get the feeling that she's trying to go a little bit faster than he is in this relationship, and I get the feeling that that's kind of causing a rift between them. I could be wrong, but that's just the gist of what I'm getting. All right, so let's look at the last card. And this card represents where you will be if you make these changes. And we've got the King of Pentacles. Give me a second with this. You know what? I want to draw another card just because this is a court card. I want to be very certain about where this is headed. Okay, we got the Nine of Wands. Give me a moment here. All right, I'm getting the feeling here, it's a little bit hard to decipher for me right now, which means, you know, the future is never, it's not in place, you know, the things you do today dictate your future. So anytime I talk about the future in tarot, I'm saying, you know, if the present energies continue, what will happen? Now, these cards here are saying if you make the changes I described here, here, and here, then this is what will happen. And I think that Tom is going to kind of put up his defenses a little bit, okay? I'm not sure, but I'm getting the feeling that this is a very tender creature who's a little bit timid, and you got to be gentle with this guy. I get the feeling that fast, sudden movements might scare him away. Is kind of the feeling I'm getting from this. I get the feeling, Anna, that you have a lot on your hands. This is a difficult relationship, and I get the feeling that you're much more skilled at relationships, and you know what you're doing, and he's sort of, you know, dipping his toe in the water and say, oh, that's too cold. Not that he's afraid, but it's just like he's not 100% sure how to progress down this path. So I am getting the feeling that maybe he just needs time. This is going to be something that needs to blossom, and it has to be given time in order for it to blossom. So if you do make the changes I suggest here, it's not going to be smooth sailing. It's not going to be easy going. You're going to have some hiccups, and it wouldn't be fun if there weren't hiccups, you know what I mean? These challenges, because they make us grow. And I think you know, a lot of us want our relationships to be absolutely perfect, like nothing wrong happens. But if you think about it, the reason we have relationships is so that we can grow together. And if there's no hiccups, if there's no conflict, then you're not learning any lessons, and you're not growing as a couple. So the more lessons that you have, the more friction that there is, the more conflict between the two of you, the more you're learning about each other, about yourself, and about the world. So be grateful for these conflicts. Of course, you're going to have to, like I said earlier, you're going to have to use your mind, your body, your soul in order to make decisions. So Anna, just to just to reiterate what we need to do here is you need to get less emotional. Okay, you need to calm down and find your logic and find your intuition, and be sure that you're making decisions with all three of those things. Okay, so that you're not just making emotional decisions. That's the first thing you need to do. Slow down. Focus more on the present moment rather than the future and where things are headed. Think about more along the lines of what's got to happen today, or what is happening today, and what little things can I tweak today that will make a better future. And finally, you need to, be grateful for what you have. It's not exactly perfect. It's not exactly your idea of what perfect is, but the present moment, the now, is perfect. It's just your fear, your sense of lack kind of clouds that, and it obscures that from you, so you can't see how much you have now. So you need to be grateful for what you have now, and the more grateful you are now for what you have, the easier abundance and love can come into you, because you're holding that vibration of gratitude. Okay, so and it's going to be a bumpy road. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not going to be smooth sailing. It's going to be a lot of work, and you're going to have more fights like these. But like I said, see them as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than horrible things. I know it's hard. It's easy for me to say and hard to really realize that fights with other people are helping you. But as long as you don't delve into the ego side, as long as you don't delve too far into the emotional side, as long as you see these fights for what they truly are, learning opportunities, then that is what they will be. Alright, so the last card we have here is the Nature's Whispers Oracle. This was a message just for Anna on what she should know about this relationship. And we've got Clear Endeavor. Alright, this card to me is saying that in order to move forward, I know, Anna, you're thinking a lot about the future. I get the feeling. In order to move forward, you have to have a clear picture of what that is. And this picture has to be shared by both of you. And you have to have this picture in your mind so that you're both working towards that goal. So I think the advice from this card is to sit down with Tom and be open. I get the feeling, Anna, that you're good at being open, that you're not going to have a problem with that. You've had practice, I get the feeling. So sit down and really talk to each other where this relationship is going. And don't talk about time. Time is not involved in this discussion. This is merely of where do we want this relationship to go. Get on that same page. And once you guys get on that page, don't worry about the time. The time it takes to get there is inconsequential, okay? You have your whole life, okay? There's no rush. But as long as you guys are on the same page, I feel like if you guys are off of the same page, if you're not on the same page, then, you're going to have more and more arguments like these. So get on the same page. Make sure your endeavor is clear. Make sure you guys have a clear goal that you share so that you're both working towards that goal. Maybe you're going faster than him in some respects and he's going faster than you in some respects, but eventually you're both going to get there at the same time, and that's when things are going to be totally blissful. Not that they're not now, it's just you're going to perceive it as more blissful, even though your bliss is sitting right in front of you. Okay, so that is the reading for Anna and Tom. I hope you got something out of that. I hope you appreciate that, and let me know if if you as a viewer or you as Anna have anything to say about this reading. Please leave a like if you got something out of it. I really do appreciate that. And if you want a reading of your own, just like this, where I tap into your specific energies, then head on over to my Etsy shop. The link is in the description and in the card, and I can tap into your energies, and we can do a love reading, a money reading, a career, whatever you want to do. Any questions that you may have, I can answer to some degree. All right, I want to thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. Happy taroting. Peace.